Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into Action Media Reviews. I have something brand new here for you that I haven't gotten in a while. I haven't made a video on any Black Major figures in quite some time. I got an opportunity to purchase a quantity of the new Black Major Crimson Shadow Guard Elite figures. It's an all-black figure with gold paint apps. And we'll do a first-person up-close look at this figure here shortly. I just want to go over a couple of things. There is a little bit of mold flash on this figure. On top of the head, there's a little bit of mold flash. And in here in the torso, there's a little bit of mold flash as well, where it was broken off the sprue. And the arms are a little tight, which that's a good thing. They're not just going to spin and flop all over the place. This one does have a little bit of a loose shoulder, but I'll show you some of these things in first person. But first, I didn't want to be one of the numerous resellers of Black Major products as far as this figure goes. So I kind of did something to make it my own and distinguish it from all of the other people that are selling Black Major figures out in the market now. So you know the card backs with the cases that I sell. I got one put together for the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite. This is recolored original artwork for the Crimson Guard, reflecting the gold highlights, and even went as far as to get into some fan fiction for the file card. It has its own file card, the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite. My friend Jason Packard actually wrote this bio. You'll recognize Jason Packard's name from the challenge coins that I reviewed, the fine pieces of collectible memorabilia they are. He actually wrote this file card based on the original file card for the Crimson Guard and the 2005 Crimson Shadow Guard file card. So I'm going to read this to you here. File name, top secret. Primary military specialty, night infiltration. Secondary military specialty, undercover espionage. Birthplace, various countries. Grade, E5 or equivalent. The Crimson Guard are elite shock troops of the Cobra Legions. All Crimson Guards must be college graduates and in top physical condition, comprising a small part of the fraternal Order of the Serpent. The Crimson Shadow Guards are highly trained in stealth tactics and operate under the cover of darkness. Although unconfirmed, it is rumored there are leaders among them that hold even higher levels of political office. The Crimson, and then here we have the little flavor quote at the bottom. The Crimson Guards are some of the sneakiest snakes of them all. One time in the jungles of Sierra Gordo, we had scoped out a squad of night vipers around 300 yards away. We were exchanging sniper fire when we realized it was all just a calculated diversion. Moments later, our entire Night Force unit was flanked by Crimson Shadow Guards and had to withdraw. So the idea behind the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite, what I had put out there for my idea of how they came to be, was that I wanted something that was more of a rumor amongst the ranks of Cobra, amongst the ranks of the Crimson Guard themselves, something unconfirmed, something unsanctioned by Cobra Commander or the Crimson Twins, something that was basically more along the lines of the Fraternal Order of the Serpent, and something that members of the Guard themselves had created or put into place. And that's where we came with the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite. And the part of the bio that says leaders among them holding even higher levels of political office. That's one of the whole things about the Crimson Guard, is that they are all educated. They are all either accountants or attorneys, or we wanted to lean more into the idea that these guys, the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite, had placed themselves above some of the others because they are politicians. They They hold political office. They are leaders of countries. These people, these members of the Crimson Guard are those who would never be suspected, but they have joined the Crimson Guard, the Crimson Shadow Guard, and you would never know that someone of their public stature would be a member of this particular segment of the Fraternal Order of the Serpent. All right, let's get into some first-person perspective view here, get an up-close look at the figure and everything that they come with, and the card art as we get this guy ready to package up into a clamshell. The first thing that I'm going to do here is break the arms loose. No, I'm not going to break the arms, but I am going to position them in a way. You need to, they're very tight. You just got to pop them loose, and that is straight from the factory. This one's the same way. Just kind of pop that arm loose. If it's not budging, you don't want to put too much pressure on it. I haven't seen any of these break yet, but with a couple of other figures, I have broken this lower section of arm off. The heads are nice and tight. They don't flop around. Check out the Cobra logo there on the side of the helmet. All done in gold. The gold paint apps. This really is a great looking figure. So what I was talking about with mold flash on these figures, and I've been trimming it off, all of the ones that I packaged up and sold after I noticed it was an issue. But see that little tab right there? I'm just going to grab an X-Acto knife and move the arm out of the way, hold the waist up, and just get right under that tab and just pop it off. Just give it a little trim. That way the figure's waist and torso will set together correctly. The top, I've had a couple of them where the top of the helmet had a little bit of a rough tab sticking up, and I trimmed it off. That's overall, the quality of these figures is great. I'm impressed because the Agent X figures I got, the quality was not so good. And the quality on a couple of other figures that I had gotten in the past was just, it was a bit off-putting for what you're paying for these. But these Crimson Shadow Guard Elites, these Crimson Guard figures, there's a whole assortment of multiple different types of these Crimson Guard figures out. The quality on every one of them that I have touched has been perfectly fine. It's a good quality plastic, and the construction is good. The accessories, you get this head, which is like the Red Laser's Army Viper figures and the Crimson Guard figures from the early 2000s. Then we had the removable helmet. This head you would just swap out onto that body, and then you would have the removable helmet. The removable helmet is a bit of a softer, more pliable plastic. And you also have a Crimson Guard Immortal head. I haven't put this on or anything, but it would just go right onto that body. I would prefer, if it was going to be on this particular figure, to paint the emblem and the visor both gold. And we also have a Frag Viper head. That's pretty cool. I mean, is Black Major going to make some Frag Vipers and some Crimson Guard Immortals down the road? That is yet to be known. I guess we will see what happens. But yeah, you get a Frag Viper head as well. There's no paint apps on this. And again, if I were going to put it onto this figure, I'd prefer to add some gold paint apps. And as far as gold paint apps, let's talk about that for just a second. If I'm going to add some gold paint apps to a figure, or silver for that matter, I'm not sure what everybody else uses, but I've had really good luck, and it makes a fantastic appearance to use just plain old Testors metallic gold. I like this paint. It stays really well as long as you let it cure. and it's easy to apply, and it covers really well. Just make sure that you shake the bottle well before trying to apply this to anything. And I also use a very, very fine tip brush. It takes me forever to paint anything, but I try not to get paint where it doesn't need to go, and I don't always have the most steady hand to do so. So this figure also comes with a Viper rifle, the same rifle that Vipers came with. Not sure what's going on here, but it seems as though Black Major has a lot of the same molds now that Red Laser's Army had before the company went under. I'm glad to see those molds are sticking around like the bats, but it's I don't know, it's just it's a little odd to me. But anyway, you have here the backpack. It is a black Crimson Guard backpack. Notice one thing, it is a little bit loose unless you press it all the way in, and then it will stay just fine. But it does fit flush against the figure's back. I like that. I don't like trying to put a backpack on and it goes in this far and it hangs way off the back of the figure. So each one of these that I put together, I've been installing the backpack onto the figure in the packaging and just sending them like that. So let's go ahead and get this guy packaged up here, and I'll show you what I'm doing with all of the additional accessories as well. Oh, I forgot. You have the Crimson Guard rifle, which is like an AK-47 style rifle. Here we have the clamshell. I'm just going to position the figure's arms so that they take up the least amount of width in the case as possible. Usually I'll give the legs a little bit of a positioning there, the knees forward, put them in face down, spread the legs out, and let's install that backpack like so. Now, even if you don't get that backpack all the way in, the packaging itself is actually going to hold that in place. The Crimson Guard rifle I've just been dropping in next to the figure, right here by the side. And as for the other accessories, I've put them into the little plastic bag that the figure and everything came in, and just folded the top down a couple times over it. And I'll put those right behind the figure here. And the insert card goes behind all of it, kind of keeps everything in place. And there you go. You have a packaged Crimson Shadow Guard Elite figure with the file card here on the back. And if you check the bottom, layout Dana White for Design on Design, file card written by Jason Packard. And we include a little flag point on most of these cards just for nostalgia purposes. Just something neat to see. But yeah, this I'm really happy with how this whole thing turned out. I think it's a pretty neat little package deal here, especially considering the fan fiction for the bio. Thank you very much, Jason, for putting that together, and thank you, Dana, for the artwork layout. If you are interested in getting your hands on one of the Crimson Shadow Guard Elite figures with the packaging, I have a link to my eBay store. I do have these up on eBay. That is in the description. Also in the description, there are links to my Teespring, where you can order Action Media Reviews merchandise, and links to Facebook groups where you can hook up with other collectors and get your hands on some stuff like this in that venue as well. So join our collector communities. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel. And I've got more stuff, more really cool stuff coming at you soon. Yo Joe.